Welcome back to the BArnzy channel. This time we're coming at you with the Exponent Pearl, coming out February 16th. As usual, I'm going to start out here and I'm going to throw some shots on the gutter and just find out what we got today. Whoa, we got a little smoke on the gutter. No surprise, here at AMF Louisville Lanes, brand new SPL, less than a month and a half old. So that surface, in case you don't know, has tons of friction. So if you bowl on an AMF surface and the approaches are good, it's probably this one. All right, well, off of that one, I think we're going to move probably 10, 12. Just for reference, my first shot, I stand on 10, and I look outside of first arrow. I'm trying to throw at the gutter. I want to find out, first and foremost, if the gutter hooks, because the gutter hooks, now I know where I can throw it to. If it doesn't hook, I know I have to move my break point in off of it. If you bowl someplace with some friction and you're looking for some back end reaction, I think you're going to like this one. All right, we're going to move another 5 off that one. But I tell you what this ball really seems to like, it likes friction. So, 3 shots, I think we got a pretty good idea what's on the lane already, so let's just go after it. All righty, first things first. Exponent Pearl, it's teal and black. 702 cover stock. This is Pearl 249042, so medium diff, and there's not a lot of medium diff balls on the market right now. Most of the time we go from 050s and big ASIMs down to 029s, 030s, like in the Hustle line. Not much in between. So this one's in between. I gotta tell you what, just in the few shots I've thrown with it so far, already liking it. Ooh, that's in the puddle. And it got out of the puddle. Huh, didn't really expect that, to be honest. I'm a big fan of the Exponent, kind of a smooth middle, probably a new era type IQ Tour type ball. Same numbers, cover's a little bit different, 701, and it's solid. And it kind of blends everything out, and so I like it because I feel like if I'm bowling good, I can use that ball on a ton of stuff. So, there we go, that's what I'm looking for. Get to the right. Comes off of it okay. So Pearl cover stock, the 702 Pearl, you got medium low RGs, but you got medium diff, so it's not going to burn up as fast. And I feel like if you're a player that struggles to get speed, but you still want some angle in the back end, this could be your huckleberry. Pleasantly surprised. To be honest, when I like a ball like that that's in the middle and it's kind of on the smoother side, control, like a medium control benchmark type ball, and they put a Pearl one, I'm like, it's probably not going to be that great. So far, this has a real good chance of making my bag next week for the US Open. February 16th is the release date on this. It's super clean through the front, but it's pretty responsive. Way more responsive than the Exponent is. So, like on something like this where there is some friction, I think this is where this ball is going to stand out as a place with a higher friction surface. You know, it's probably going to actually outhook an Exponent, but we're going to throw it up against it here in a minute. Normally I start moving around, but as long as I got some strikes, let's just see what happens. Put the jinx right on it, no problem. Now we can move around. Oh boy, let's not get that started right before we go to the US Open. Okay, well, I'm gonna do what most people need to see next, and that's move a little to the right, take my hand out of it a little bit. So it's like, this is like a 6-7 board move. And I love that shape right there. I am pleasantly surprised, I guess would be the nice way to put it so far. This ball is clean through the front, seems to read the middle really good. Responsive without being crazy. Now let's go the other way. Let's just go slow. That's 5 boards left, so this is going to be 12 boards difference between the two. It got in the puddle a little bit, and that's where you see not quite as much diff. So, you know, when they're really still this fresh in there, that's probably not going to be the time you're going to go to it just yet. It's going to be way later in the, you know, in game 2, game 3, where you're going to move left like that anyway. I think you can use it, but you're going to use it probably further to the right early on. All right, let's go back to our base. Ooh, picked up early, even out in the back. You can see the responsive because even as it starts to pick up in the front, it's starting to see it. It's not just going through it automatically. We will throw an Exponent, we'll throw a Zen Gold. I'll throw a Hustle Rip too, just for fun, and see what that looks like. Now I'm gonna add some rotation. I'm gonna start here and move my hand over here. That's a 2-board move for me, but it creates more length and more back end. Or in this case, when you're missing left in the puddle, just more length. And that's where it's a little bit weaker ball. You can tell that it's not as good in that heavy, deep puddle on the fresh as what a Zen, an Infused, Journey, Zen Gold, any of those great big balls like that. They have bigger cores. They're going to make it through that puddle a little easier, which that's what you're paying for. Now, once the lane starts to hook more, like I said, game 2, game 3 of team, I think then you're in your wheelhouse. We're on about 230 here, but so basically what I'm going to show you next is Exponent. Sure I ever showed you the drilling, but this is 5. CG's kicked out, so it's going to be 5 by probably 3.5 by 3. It's pin up. Drilled just a touch stronger than my usual stock drilling, which is kind of this right here, which is 5.5 almost by also 3.5, just by 2.5 or so. So we'll stay in the same place and let's see what happens. And what you saw is smoother overall, not a surprise. So where there's friction here in the front like that, on a ball like the Exponent, yeah, a lot of balls actually, it's hard to really see, but it bleeds off energy when the cover's earlier like that. So then it ends up hooking less in the back rather than more. Exponent Pearl, cleaner through that, more change of direction off of it. Now if I add some rotation to this ball, and missing the puddle, that's where you see the stronger cover. When I did that with the Exponent Pearl, it was more responsive, so it was more responsive to that oil and pushed way further. That one picked up in that spot, didn't get all the way there, but it did avoid the 210. Next ball I'm going to throw is a somewhat similar drilling. A little taller pin, a little further with the second number, so it's going to be probably a tall 5 by 5.5. Zen Gold, a little stronger cover, way more RG and differential. And that's where you see the strength of that core. It dug in through that and then it changed directions sharper than that. So the Exponent Pearl is going to fit in underneath the Zen Gold. It's going to be longer than Exponent Pearl, but a step down off of it. And then this is going to be a Hustle Rip. Let me get rid of that. Now my Hustle Rip is probably the strongest ball I've drilled in my bag. This is going to be, only because it's up, it's going to just probably a touch short of 4-inch pin. 4 by 5.5 by 2.5. Now this ball with flares, another almost 30%, 35% less. So I stand in the same spot. I got all of that one. The strength in the drilling picked it up. Where you'll notice with this ball is when I miss in, it will really go long comparatively. So I'll try that next, but we'll see where that slots in. And I'm curious myself, because these are two of the balls that are probably fighting for the same spot at the bottom end of my bag. A little longer, a little smoother, and that's the less diff part of it. So the rip's going to be slightly on the bottom end of that. The Exponent Pearl just above that, and by above it I mean just a little bit stronger, a little bit more in the mid lane, a little bit more overall hook. Then it's going to be the Exponent, then the Zen Gold. So this is a great ball for people who struggle to get the ball down the lane and create shape. For people who need the ball, you know, really to turn the corner. If you're more end over end, rev dominant because of speed or revs, if you're two-hander, this is a ball that you can play with because it's going to be in those middle core numbers. Core's not going to overtake and make it hook massively. So available February 17th, 702 Pearl cover stock, 249042. It's a symmetrical ball, controllable. I would say dry angular is where this fits in my arsenal. If you like this ball, you can check out and pre-order at your pro shop near you. BowlersMark.com can take all of those orders as well. If you like this jersey or any of the others, you can go to coollook.com, use BArnzy10 or beefandbarnzy.com and get any of the merchandise that you see there. And as always, if you could, please support the sponsors, support us. If you like this video, like, share, subscribe, and come back for more real talk reviews at the Beef and Barnzy channel.